Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a best of 3 between. Here in the top right, fighting as our blue Zerg player, playing for team Adios. It's DRG. And that means that in the bottom left, spawning as the red Terran, we have Gumiho. Zerg versus Terran between my favorite Terran player that plays wild build orders. That I know that's quite specific. And my favorite Zerg from Solar's my favorite Zerg from Korea. DRG is up there though. I like watching DRG. He's up there. He's a Zerg that is up there in my top 3 list, alright? So it's a fun match. I really do enjoy watching me some Gumiho games though. Player that always brings out something new, or at least something different. Doesn't have to be something new. Sometimes just being different is enough. And that's definitely the case with Gumiho, who likes his builds like he likes his meals. Aggressive and lots of them. That's what I've heard at least. Gumiho's an aggressive eater. Fork and knife just really attacks the food on his plate. He also loves to eat at the same time. I'm actually sure that's true. Most of these facts are usually made up. And so was this one. Alright, Reaper popped in over here, and Gumiho is definitely playing this aggressive. Look at that. Just jumped in, tried to get a drone there. 6 links were produced for DRG. And the rule is that if you build 6 links, you're not allowed to lose anything. If you lose something while building 6 links, might as well just end it and go into the next game. Because, if you can't keep them all alive, you can't keep your drones alive after already building an extra set of links, that has to be one of the saddest things in the life of a Zerg player. I see Gumiho opening up. Ooh, nice little quick 3rd CC here, as well as a starport coming in. Do we have a second gas yet? Yes, we do. Okay, so actually this seems fairly standard, which does make me a little bit sad here. Here I was hyping up Gumiho as this great innovator, this creative genius, creator of many build orders and the executor of many more. But instead we're just going to see, I think this is going to be a triple CC Banshee build. If I had wanted to see a triple CC Banshee build, I would just pick the clam game. I wanted to see someone open up with 4 battle cruisers before their 3rd base, you know. I wanted some proxy racks out on the map. I want something cool. Instead we're getting this. Well, it is what it is. It's a very late tech lab, by the way. I'm not quite sure why we were waiting so long to get that. It's going to be most likely a Cloak Banshee. Just based on the gas, the second gas timing felt very Cloak Banshee-ish. We don't see a fusion core going up, which is another big tell that it's not going to be battle cruiser. But a man can dream, alright? And I'm still dreaming better than I ever did. Overlord spread's looking pretty healthy. And as I do that, I get the vision of Gumiho. This has not been my day so far. What's this queen doing in the main base? Just guarding this little ledge, forgetting to inject. I honestly prefer an inject over that queen guarding the ledge. Double Evo before a lair. Okay. We actually don't see Cloak. Ooh. Now that's kind of spicy. That is actually kind of spicy. Maybe... Wait, what? Alright. I thought it was going to be like single Banshee maybe into Raven, or single Banshee into a quick reactor from that starport, but we're just going to play 2 Banshee, but without the Cloak. That's an interesting move, because then you're just going to be floating gas, and he's taking 2 gases relatively quick as well already. I guess this is not super uncommon, but I think one of those gases was actually before the extra barracks. Both of these gases were before the extra barracks. Okay, that is kind of uncommon. I don't actually entirely know what this means. I feel like this should mean something. It's definitely going to go into tanks off of this. That is a 100% a given. If you're getting mines, you're going to be floating gas till the end of time. He's following this up with quick 5 barracks. I don't think this is too different from what we usually see. It's going to be floating quite a bit of gas in my mind. But once again, I could be wrong. I mean, he has the 100 gas left over from the Cloak that he didn't build, and then he took his gases really quick. Now I'm curious what we're going to see here. Spores are still being constructed. I really feel like the utility of Cloak is so big that not getting it makes these Banshees not practically worthless, but a lot more worthless. Like, you can always with Cloak sneak in somewhere. The Zerg can't see them on the minimap. That's what makes Cloak so great. Cloak isn't great because it is difficult for Zerg to get detection. No, it's great because it's hard for Zerg to spot them on the minimap. Or, well, impossible. Like, you can pre-cloak over here, then you fly into the main, and the Zerg gets caught off guard. They can't be ready at every single base. And, well, if they're not cloaked, you can be ready at every single base. They're basically just like bad oracles at that point. And oracles already aren't so great against most of the top Zergs because they're so quick with their queen little rotations these days. We have an armory coming out. It's fairly quick. Hydra then as well. Honestly, not much has happened so far in this game. A couple of creep tumors have been denied, but that is pretty much it. 6 creep tumors have been denied, to be exact. As the tanks are popping out one by one. And the first 2 medevacts will start making their way across the map. Ooh, tank is gonna join up. That is somewhat surprising to me. Oh! Gumiho thinks he can fight that. He was very right about that. He lost 2 Marines and killed 35 Lings there. Well, lost 8 Marines and killed 44 Lings. Pretty close estimates there. 1-1 hadn't even finished yet. No combat shield either. I was not really looking forward to this tank push. I thought there was too little Marines. I thought that with 1 tank, there's no way you're going to do something useful. But now that there's 1-1, now that he's killed this many workers, or this many Lings, I'm actually kind of starting to feel good about this. Baneling speed has not even started yet. I think that's a massive error. This is definitely a mistake. I think DRG believes that he has it started and he's waiting for it to finish right now. He's like, all right, Baneling speed, it's time. When are you coming in, buddy? It's not coming. It's not here. We do have 5 more on the way, Banelings that is. And will be needed to deal with these Hellbats. Combat shield is about to finish up. That is definitely going to give these Marines a massive boost. 2 tanks, 3 Hellbats, and about 10 Marines. Here we go. Oh, nice little flank coming in as well. And DRG is going to clean this up with relative ease. Nice snipe there on those last 1 or 2 Banes. Gumiho trying to, get his money's worth here. With those Marines. Some bang for his buck. So we have the infestation pit in the main base. Gonna get a cheeky little hive here. I guess going into lurkers from here. Or maybe initially vipers. One of the more common paths. Ooh. What is this tank position? Holy crap. Ooh. A cancel on that fort base is actually pretty painful. Gumiho already was really late with his fort base. And now it's going to be even later. These Marines though going completely unchecked. As DRG started attacking his own extractor there with his Lings. These Lings are pretty smart. They arrived a bit too early to the party. They're like, maybe if we attack the extractor, they don't realize we ain't part of their team. They might not kill us. Some traitor Lings. Waiting until the reinforcements arrive to turn onto the Marines. 5th base is set up, has survived. I bet this double drop has something to do with the fact that this base is in the red and is bleeding from every single hole that it has. No real way to fix that, except with transfuse. Creep spread is fairly mediocre. No, it's terrible, actually. The creep spread is terrible, especially near the 5th and the 4th base. But even towards the middle, it is fairly bad. It's actually just bad. Creep spread is bad. Oh, +2 carapace, and look at that. 2 Banshees aren't one volleying these drones anymore. That's kind of sad. Here the Marines pop forward. More creep getting cleaned up at the same time. Some creep being cleaned up over here. This is the 6th base. And this kind of feels like the 5th base backup. Because this base is inevitably going to fall, I feel like. And once that happens, you can just transfer your drones over towards the middle. So, nice for extra larva. It's not like he's going to be actually... mining from these 6 bases at this point. He just doesn't have the drone count for that. Like, he doesn't have 120 drones. If he did, though, he could be mining from that 6. And even with 100 drones, he definitely could have some here. Because this base is fully saturated. I think we have the hive right now, but we have nothing being built yet from that hive. No +3, no vipers, no lurker den. Lurker Den technically isn't hive, but the upgrades on the Lurker Den are hive. So DRG is just going to commit here to a massive 2-2 timing. Well, it's not really a timing, it's 2-2 finished a while ago. Like a max out attack, basically. And decides not to go for it. Now I have this 8 Marine drop heading in towards this 6th base. There's 2 Bane... Oh, I thought these Banelings killed them, but that pickup was clean. Keeps every single Marine alive. Lurker Den and Adrenal Glands are the hive, the hive priority here. The hive's priority. These medevacs potentially in trouble. These marines, most definitely in trouble. Will need to pick up right now. Or will they? No. Gumiho says, actually, I don't really think I need to pick up. He's gonna continue fighting. Takes out every single Baneling here. Just by standing there and shooting. And this was a... Oh my god. This fight went so much better for Gumiho than I thought it would. I mean... I don't think this was efficient at all for DRG. I didn't check the units lost before the fight, but it really felt like he ended up losing like 15, 16 Banelings there just because Gumiho stood there and A moved. Like that was a good estimation of how that fight would go by Gumiho. And DRG and I both were wrong when it came to that. I thought he could just move over there and kill him. Now we do have another Ling run by coming in. This tank here in the bottom side is still going pretty ham. This is a really nice location for a tank, by the way. Almost as good as here, you would say. And Gumiho's, I think he's actually pulling ahead by a significant amount now. Or a significant amount. I feel like he's pulling ahead. His 3-3 is faster than his opponent. The one thing we really are lacking though is the ghost production. I think a couple of ghosts at this point would not be a luxury. Like I think we're getting into necessary terrain for the ghost. At some point in the near future, because lurkers are going to be popping out against vipers. I really do believe they're necessary. Right now we just have pure mine production. I think I saw two factories with reactors. Oh no, we just have 3 factories. Okay, I saw 4 mines being produced. I was like, okay, so 2 factories with reactors. That's weird, but this makes a lot more sense. 3 factories in total, and then 2 with tech labs for mass tank production if you need to, or for Thors in the late game switch. And you can also produce 4 mines at a time, which is absolutely great in these very heavy Ling Bane scenarios. This army is gonna get, well, not really pushed back. This army just wanted to go here. No one pushes back this army. This is a powerful army. This base, however, is going to get pushed back into planetary heaven. Well, pushed back makes it sound like that's where it came from. I don't think planetaries, when they're born, drop down from heaven, but I could be wrong on the StarCraft lore there. Oh, all mines in the same spot means they're not going to be so effective. 13 SCVs have gone down, and where earlier I said that I really like Gumiho's position, now I'm not so sure actually. Yes, the creep is still extremely mediocre, but he's kind of getting cleaned. He really is getting cleaned up. And he's being freaking washed over here. 170 supply, 60 workers. Doesn't mean his army is massive. If you can just kind of stabilize with higher ghost counts. Worker count isn't so important for Terran in these scenarios often. The thing that's important is that you're just not losing units against the many Banes that there are. So if you can do that by having just a slightly lower worker count and having a massive army, your trades are going to be much more efficient. If the Zerg isn't allowed to take any of your bases, you're still going to be fine at the end of the day, right? Like, as long as you can keep being maxed, I always think there's not much of an issue here for Terran. So Vipers are now out. What's the lurker count? 4. Cool. It's not a whole lot, but it's enough for it to be fairly annoying. This is a really good engagement. This is a really good fight for, what's he called? DRG. It's gonna take out this base. This was important. This really was important. I feel like if you give Gumiho even just 20 more seconds and these Liberators siege up, this fight will look completely different. I truly do believe that. Like a Liberator siege up helps so much against things like lurkers. It makes them a little bit less scary. I think if there was like 2 or 3 more tanks in position, like, you're looking at a completely different fight. And even now, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't great, but it still is at 170-ish supply. Once again, it's gonna get caught out of position, though. Does not have the tanks to protect all of his bases here. This bottom base is... oh, it's being lurker harassed. I saw it going red on the mini-map. I was like, what's happening over here? Single lurker is definitely dealing some damage there. Ghosts are being taken out. There's really no splash here with this army. Tanks are way too far in the back as Lynx are trying to take care of that. Gumiho loses game 1 as he taps out. DRG takes the lead. Very fun back and forth game there between Gumiho and DRG. It's, I did really like this. What is this opener? This is too late for a barracks, no? Or he's gonna build them kind of far away, I guess. I mean, you're gonna be over here. This feels pretty far, no? Oh, yeah, he's just too late. Oh, his depot isn't done yet, I guess. Okay, this worked out perfectly. I thought he was too late for sure. But this seemed fine. Okay, it's going to be 2, 3... Maybe 4? Nah, 3. Feels like a 3 Rex to me. Just gonna go for a 3 Rex here. Proxy 3 Rex. What do we think of that, huh? What do we think of that? This almost always... Oh, I just see DRG has 3 points. That's not good. I always feel like in these types of scenarios, this feels... I don't want to use the word unfair, because I do understand that this is part of StarCraft 2. It feels a little bit... You know, DRG just worked hard for his win for 15 minutes. And now Gumiho wants to take that away with a 5-minute or 4-minute 3 racks. It just doesn't feel correct, you know? Like, why are these games the same value? I mean, I don't think we should, you know, give more value to games that last longer. I think there's something beautiful in this as well. But if you're on the receiving end of this, I can tell you it doesn't feel very nice. It really does not feel very nice. I do not enjoy that. Oh, here we go. Overlord's actually potentially in some trouble. Well, potentially in some trouble. Where's this guy gonna go? Needs to go to this high ground. Hello? Hello, DRG? Can we send this to... Oh, it's gonna go to the right side? Surely this is closer. I think he's in trouble with this Overlord. This bunker is also in trouble. But I'm caring more about this Overlord right now. It's gonna be massively supply blocked. That means no extra links here. He did manage to get the first 6 out, as well as 2 queens, but this is it. No spines because of the early drone pool. There's no real cash for spines. And without spines, this can be so hard to hold. This is so hard to hold. This is ridiculously hard to hold. Bunker still going up. Not a single unit is being used here to take out that SCV. It's gonna get a surround. Well, not really. Almost got a surrounder on the Marines, but not quite either. And these Marines are still going ham. I think this is pretty much it, no? 19 workers to 13. These Marines are still alive. The bunker went up as well. Drones now are trying to run back home. Queen will block, but it's not enough. And after 2 minutes and 54 seconds, the series is all even once again. And that brings us to game number 3 over here, in which DRG decided to open up with another hatch first. But he's not getting 3 racks this time, so it's not that big of an issue. It's not that big of a deal. What was this? That seems like a really quick factory, or am I crazy? This was a gas first, wasn't it? This definitely was a gas first. Different setup here. Whoa. That's a fast second gas as well. What's happening over here? My dudes and Duderinos. Just keeping that Reaper at home as well. Is this the build that I've heard about? So there is a rumor. There's a rumored build, which is the quickest Cloak Banshee rush in existence, with still a regular CC timing. Gas first Reaper. And he will pop this one over. I'm not sure if he goes to this thing. Oh, he's going for a Cyclone push? What is this? Okay, no, never mind. I was really looking forward to this insane Banshee build. Apparently it hits freaking fast. I can't remember the timing quite. I want to say it would hit something like 410. Maybe it was with a Marine first, though. That's also possible. Instead, we're just going to go for a cheeky little Cyclone rush. This is a really uncommon build as well. We never see this. Not in a million years we see this. Do you get a siege tank behind this? Or do you swap it over to the barracks? I don't actually... Like, what is it? I never understand the point of these builds, honestly. Like, I'll look at them and think, well, that looks terrible. They never work. I'm so curious how he's going to try and make this work. Because you just don't have a lot of map control with this. Your third base is very delayed. You can't really do any drone damage. You can snipe some overlords, which I guess it has value, definitely, sniping overlords, but there needs to be something coming after as well. And it always feels like these follow-up tank pushes are kind of mediocre. I could be wrong about that, but it does often feel to me that they suck. Like these weird 1-1-1 setups. in the Terran versus Zerg matchup. Look, against Protoss, I would love this build. I'd already be calling this game over in favor of the Terran. Like, this is it's proper broken. You know, to be fair, most builds work pretty well against Protoss at this point in the matchup. So you could open up with anything and I'd be calling the game already. Up. Is that the second Overlord that went down? I think so, right? Not 3, yeah. So 2 Overlords. Rather than having map control with Hellions and denying creep and having a way faster 3rd CC, you got a really quick second gas here. Build a Cyclone, which has no value in the mid game. Build 2 tanks, which and have some value in the mid game, but right now they're delaying your production a lot. And you have all you've achieved is killing 2 Overlords. So there needs to be something here, right? Like that is just, it's so obvious. It's obvious to me, but it's also obvious to DRG. He has a Bailing Nest on the way, where in the first game he played a double Evo style. He now is rushing into Lair, and I was gonna say this looks a little bit like mech, but then 2 barracks and stim started, so this doesn't look like mech at all. God, what a terrible call. We have double E-base coming in, and now we have a triple Doom drop without stim, mind you. Triple medevac Doom drop going in towards the main base. And I think this is going to do absolutely nothing. Like legitimately nothing. It's going to be completely useless. So Marines without stim and combat are complete garbage. And there's really not that many. He can just move into this, can't he? Okay, he sniped 3 drones. He's going for the queen now, and it doesn't quite work out. Okay, a couple of queens are falling. This actually is dealing a lot more damage than I thought it would. But is this enough damage? You're dealing no eco damage, and you really damage your own eco, all just to get these tanks out, which then achieve nothing. Like, resources lost, this doesn't even look that bad for the Zerg, honestly. There's 550 gas that got lost, 1250 minerals. Zerg lost 2200. Zerg has significantly better worker count than his opponent. And also, you know that any incoming pushes are going to be hitting pretty weak in the next minute or so. So DRG can just go up to 70, 73, 74, 75 workers. I wonder what actually the max number is. He still has a bunch of links out as well. He could actually go up to 80, I think, here. I don't think he will, but he could. He could actually just drone straight up to 82, 83. He's getting a Hydra then. He's getting his extra gases. DRG is well aware of how sick his position is. And look at the creep as well. No Hellions, no creep denial. Creep spread has been better in the first 7 minutes here than in the entire game on Royal Blood. Like, this is... I don't want to say that this game is over, but this is very, very good for Dongregul right now. I don't know what these guys are doing. They want to meet with the panda that's bait. What is this guy doing? What? Hello? Excuse me. This guy jerking off in the sea? What is this? Usually they always have a little campfire that they're dancing around, these little pandas or whatever they are. I guess the drones are also wondering, what in the world is this? It's inappropriate. I don't want to look at that anymore. Yeah, his Reaper gets taken out. At least Gumiho knows there's no 6th base. It's going to please him. Oh, thank God. Thank God, I'm only 2 bases behind. How nice is that, huh? Double factory coming in. So similar to what he did last time, where he went for those triple facts. I like that, though. I do enjoy the triple factory play. Often feels like factory units are one of the only things that truly matter for Terran. There's a bunch of creep is getting denied. Queen count is probably lower than it was before, as he lost a bunch in that fight in the main. Lost 6. I think he was at 8 or 9 before that fight, and now he's at 6, but he's at 90 workers. Look at that worker count, it's so crazy. 89 workers, 163 supply, 173 supply against 138. Like, these are big numbers here that are all in favor of DRG. He does have kind of poor creep spread. I don't quite understand why. Like, he's a fast player, mechanically sound, but for whatever reason, it feels like he's really struggling this series with the creep spread. And even if Gumiho is just doing some pretty simple, kind of like two-sided marine harass. Or marine dropping, marine creep denial. DRG just setting up for a 2-2 timing. Or, well, actually for a 1-1 timing, I think he's setting up. If I were him, I'd be hitting here at 199 supply as well. Up. Yeah, it's getting a bunch of Banes here. Immediately tech into Hive behind it as well. I think it would be fantastic. If you get to Lurkers now, that's such a huge thing because your opponent... Sometimes when you play Lurkers, your opponent isn't ready. Now it almost feels like that Gumiho can't be ready. Because he's just so much worse economically. Like, you're going to be capable of walking in a couple of times with these Hydra Ling Bane attacks. I actually do believe he's going to wait for 2-2. I'm not sure if that's correct. I think it might be fine. Yeah, I don't struggle with that decision very much. I'm okay with it. This drop is going to get cleared. Look at how quickly the creep disappeared though on the top side. Gumiho really showing that he has a good understanding of how to harass his opponent. This drop in the main base as well. It's actually dealing some damage. Is forcing the units back. Is winning a lot of time. This Liberator, nice little siege up here into this Spore. Still gonna get 3 kills or so. 2 kills. And boom. Looks like this hatchery is going to get completely blasted. Yep. Well, not quite. It stays alive, but it's going to get blasted in the future. You can definitely imagine that. Oh, what is this? Seconds after 2-2 finishes for Gumiho, DRG decides to pull the trigger and gets a fight. It felt really good, and then it didn't feel really good. Medevac count is a lot lower than before, but did not really kill so many tanks. And the supplies are still fairly even too. DRG really should start his 3-3 upgrades and start getting into a Lurker then, or getting into Vipers, one of the two. I really feel like Hive is such a big thing here for Zerg. Okay, we have Adrenal Glands, we have the Carapace upgrade. And we have Pneumatized Carapace coming in, the Overlord Speed. Well, that is for no one knows. Well, I guess Overseer. So I just figured it out. I do know. And now you guys also know. Congratulations. Well, these Marines are just being blasted. They're fairly low. Stimming themselves to death. There's 7 bases right now for DRG. This right side worries me a little bit. Very little creep. Low HP base. This high ground hasn't been taken with creep in a while. Like it just feels kind of scary here for the Busan Zerg, which is one of the many nicknames that Dongregu has, because he's from Busan. It's not a great nickname, but it is one that is used actively in the Korean scene. Not the greatest nickname makers. I wish we had more nicknames like the wrestlers have. You know, the Undertaker. This is actually the only nickname I know. Maybe all the other nicknames are really bad. I think the Undertaker is a sick nickname. I wish people would call me the Undertaker. Then I guess I'd have to do some winning every now and again. Oh! This is an interesting fight. Mines are going to connect. And now Banelings are going to connect. And this base is also going to get some connections. Right on its face. Right on the chin. These Banelings take out 16 workers. Did lose the 7th on the bottom. So there was a 4th base for a 7th base. That is a good trade for the person that has 7 bases. Most of the time. We can see that in the banks as well. That are currently still active. We have 300 minerals in the bank for Gumiho. Against 2,500 minerals for DRG. Gas count is fairly low. I wouldn't mind seeing 1 or 2 extra gases. And I am extremely surprised that we still only have a single Viper. We have no Lurkers at all. I mean, we're working with 0 Ghost here, ladies and gentlemen. 0 Ghost. 0 Ghost sounds to me like 2 Lurkers would, you know, would fix this. And in Dutch we would say 2 Ghosts would wash this pig. If something is very easy, or if you're gonna do something in an easy way, then you say, we'll wash this pig. That's what he's gonna do. Not quite sure where that comes from though. Dutch proverbs tend to be a little bit odd. I think that the Dutch people in general historically have been a little bit off in the head. But then most people that used to be off in the head, they all moved south to Belgium. Now we only have the finest people in the world. And Belgium are stuck with the ex-Dutchies. They forgot how to speak Dutch. They forgot how to think properly. Well, actually, they never were capable, I guess. Poor Belgians. They really got the worst of the worst. Ooh. These Marines also got some pretty bad hits on them here. This base finally has been taken out. And that makes sense. Because that base really was ready to die. Oh, Viper just got sniped here by those Marines. They are going to still die in the end. Orbital gets lifted. There's really not that much damage output here for Gumiho. He has 150 supply, but it feels like none of it is here. But where is it? Well, I guess all of it was there. A bunch of tanks and mines. There's like 30 supply in like tanks and mines, and they're not really helping in the fight. That was happening on the fifth base up there. Oi, 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 oi. This is trouble. This is actual trouble. Lurker then is about to finish up as well. We now have this, this base set up once more. Could start mining. Is DRG struggling with larva? He's a little bit, isn't he? 2700 minerals, 264 gas. You, my dear friend, need some larva. Many banelings here are being rolled in. Morphed and rolled around. Where are you going, Mr. Medevac? They're taking it a long way around. Holy crap. They're going to... Bunch of perverts. Hate to see it. Yeah, they're going back home. They've been caught by me now. Bringing peeping toms, looking at the panda. Alright. How many tanks do we have over here? I don't quite know. Like 4 or 5. It's not really active in the fight though. Where is the supply of Gumiho? I'm looking at this. This army looks like garbage. He's nothing, it feels like. But DRG is down in army supply. Whenever I look at DRG's army, well, that's an army. And look at this guy's army. Oh, that looks terrible. Where is it? Like, actually, what are these two Vipers doing? They could be pretty important to have in the fight. This 7th base is going to get taken out. This is important. This is a huge drop, actually. This is massive. If he takes out this base, all of a sudden it's going to be 5 base. And it's not so bad that you're only on 3. Oh, there we go. Especially given the fact that your 3rd base is practically mined out. So you're really just down 1 mining base. This is better than Gumiho's had it in a while. This command center is about to finish up. His army supply is fantastic. I actually think Gumiho is looking better now than he was a couple of minutes ago. I mean, he isn't entirely ready for the lurkers though, but this is an okay-ish setup. Blinding clouds are hitting hard. Lurkers have basically disappeared from the face of the earth. Good pickup as well. Gumiho perhaps considering moving forward right now. Moving on. I think he might be. He's up in army supply. The 6 lurkers are going to be an issue, aren't they? 3 tanks only, 5 mines, no lips, no ghost. Have a good match, my friend, but it's going to be hard now. A bunch of SCVs are going down as well against the Ling run by. And the lurkers are coming in again. This is, I don't want to say the last army that DRG has, but it is. He doesn't have a whole lot of bank behind this. Tank's not really sieged up. Mine gets a connection, 7 kills. Another mine doesn't even shoot. Tank will get taken out here. Gumiho bleeding out. Uh-oh. Is going to be capable perhaps of surrounding this. Decent scan. Gets 1, gets 2, gets 3. Almost gets a 4th lurker there before any of the units really turn around. The question now is there enough damage output here to deal with all of this? No, there's not. Gumiho taps out as DRG wins this game and wins this series. DRG wins 2 games of, 1 game of 15 minutes, 1 game 18 minutes, and loses a 3-minute game. It would have been very sad if he had lost this series. So I'm happy for him. This was a game that I got from the Korean StarCraft League number 12. So big shout out to them as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next time for a new video. Bye bye.